does say the stream is online. Hey, okay. We have a full house today of different and interesting people. This will be good. Okay. Do we want to start with summer students? David?
Sure.
Go on then, off we go. I hand this to you. I delegate.
Okay, so Will and Drew, can you kind of update on Tessa?
Yeah, sure. So far she's first, for those who don't know, Tessa's doing the AIA response project, and she's been having a look at all the stuff in Chianti that she's going to be using, all the emission spectra stuff that's in there, because most of the project will be built on that. And she started outlining some of the functions and sort of just the structure for what she's going to be doing, and started building a few tests, I think, or at least started thinking about some tests. So yeah, no real huge code contribution yet at the moment, but she seems to be doing well so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think our next thing is looking into SSW and figuring out what information we need to calculate the wavelength response functions. So like stuff like the CSP gain and things specific to the instrument. So that's her next step, I think.
Okay.
Where is she coding that? Is it as a part inside SunPy or as a different repository?
She's doing it in SunPy, I believe, in her fork.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Shiroshan, do you want to talk?
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
Okay. So I only have 4 clients now. Solus VSM and client and SD. So I was looking into a few issues that are there with Scraper and SunPy.util. And SunPy.util does not work on websites. It fails to scrape URLs from every type of websites. I'm trying to look into as to why it's happening. And yeah, just only 3-4 classes, and I'm sort of ahead of my time. And I think I'll be able to successfully finish my midterm evaluations.
Okay. Do you have any impediment that you want to mention, or any problem that you have been having, or?
Yeah, the problem is basically in Scraper. I frequently face this issue. I always have to write out the downloading logic in Fido place. That should not happen. Ideally, Scraper should be able to scrape whatever URLs from whatever website you choose, but it is unable to do that. I think someone needs to look deeper into this. Scraper only works for simple HTTP type websites, and it doesn't work on FTP websites. And if the URL regex is structured in a certain way, it's unable to parse those. It's unable to parse URLs. That's why I'm stuck on Gong right now. I'm unable to get all the URLs. I have to manually write the logic in Fido clients.
Wouldn't it be easier if you change the scraper?
I tried changing the scraper code and see if it works or not. Even then, it's not working. I'm trying to manually build out URLs by some sort of small hack.
Okay. For anyone else, like Shiroshan have like a few pull requests, so I will start to label them for reviews. So it will be good if the rest of the people can start to review them as well once that I mark them. What else? Anything else?
The only scraper thing is blocking me right now.
Okay.
I have to spend some time manually writing the downloading logic, which should not really happen. Scraper should be able to handle everything.
Yeah, but feel free to change Scrapper and suggest changes.
Yeah.
Okay. Punyaslog, are you here?
I don't think he's here.
Where is he? No, he's not here, is it?
I
No.
don't think so.
I don't see him. Okay. Cool. Alex?
Hello there. Do you want me to describe?
Well, welcome back again as again Summer of Code for second year student. So, yeah, tell us what you're going to do this year, please.
So this year I am doing the glamorous task of refactoring the light curve data type. So SunPy has three primary data types: the map, which you'll see is two-dimensional image style data, and the spectral data, I know nothing about those, and the light curve class, which is essentially used for storing time-dependent data. The remit of the project, first of all, is essentially it seems that it's not going to be refactoring the light curve, in the sense that light curve is a specific term for time series data relating to light, and a lot of our light curve, the previous light curve objects, are actually related not to light. So essentially it's creating a time series data format, which will be used for any kind of time series data, preferably, and trying to take what is already implemented from the light curve structure and putting it into there. Ideally adding, maybe adding some functionality. We've been talking about that today with the supervisors. So potentially in the future, hopefully implementing units support into it. But for now, it's primarily just making it more up to date, making the interface more in line with the way that the maps currently work, and getting rid of redundant code. So the code for actually collecting files, or at least opening files, certain code is redundant now that we've got the Uni downloader. And so yes, it's not an exciting job, but it is something reasonably important in the sense that it is a fundamental data format.
And that will be done in towards the light curve factory branch, or?
So that's as far as I'm aware, though. Again, it's sort of awkward because we're renaming things not to light curve now.
Okay.
But yeah, at the moment I haven't done anything with respect to code other than playing around with stuff on this end. So I only just started. But yeah, I don't know whether that's Stuart. Is that the branch that I should use?
No, I think we'll start again. Do it based on master,
Yay.
probably. Maybe uni down. Oh man, uni down. I'll do.
Okay, so Stuart,
I'll do.
Cool.
So.
Are you updating for him?
Huh?
Are you going to update for Punjaslog?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the original idea of this project was to attempt to make the make the database, which is the module for dealing with local caching of data and searching of local data in SunPy, with Unidown. But as Unidown is still in need of some work, what we've been working on at the moment is caching VSO queries. So in pull request something or the other. Which one is it? Well, 1785. In pull request 1785, we have a implementation of result caching from the VSO. So if you do one VSO query and it gives you 10 results, the database will download those files, store them in the database. If you then do the same query, or a query that shares 5 of the results with your previous query, so maybe you do like different time range, shifted by an amount of time, and so if you get some of your results overlap with a previous query, the database will realize that you've already got those results and not download them from the VSO, and then return you the new ones it downloaded from the VSO and the ones from the database at the same time.
There will be problems when working with SDO when they cache them into a zip file, right?
Those problems already exist with the database.
No, but I mean, like when you query, sometimes when you query some data from SDO, it will pack them into a...
Yes. If it does that at the moment, the database can't handle it at the moment.
Yeah. Sure,
So
okay, cool.
we haven't made the situation worse.
Glowing praise there, man.
I blame JSON for that.
Fair enough.
And today, he has opened a pull request with some database material for the example gallery that we're going to go through and try and work on making the database easier to use for people. We're going to use the example as kind of like something to work off to improve the database UI. Because the database hasn't seen a lot of use, despite the fact that I think it's quite useful. Who has just joined this call, hiding in the corner.
Okay, thank you. No, it's him, okay. All right, so that's the summary of code. Next.
It's back on me. I muted you because the album closed. Feel free to unmute yourself. Okay, we should probably do some PR review and crushing. Starting from the top, 1823.
Obviously, 1823 should be accepted without question.
I have no issue with 1823.
It's a crucial piece of SunPy.
It needs backporting to 0.7.
There's always something.
Yep,
Okay.
that there is. Due to the meniality of this fix, I will even let you off changelog, but yeah, it does need backporting to 0.7. Sold to the highest bidder. Okay. $18.14. Which also needs backport. Except that one's on.
Okay, for maybe the people is not following what we're talking with numbers, but we are talking about the numbers of the pull requests on the SunPy repository. Okay. So, Stuart, what is that doing? It just add a heading to WCS access or what?
The WCS compact submodule of visualization wasn't in the API documentation. If you go into the docs, you can't find that.
Okay. Okay, and that's because you need that. Okay, it's good. So.
David, I have a question.
Please do.
Yeah.
Where did you? I mean, how did you write the scraper code? What sources did you consult for writing that, or the entire scraper code?
Sorry, what do you mean? The script of what?
Scraper, how did you write all that? Did you consult any specific sources?
Scrapper.
Yeah, the scraper code in SunPy.util.
How I wrote it from, I started to write a test and writing it, test and writing it. That's it. What do you mean?
Any specific sources that you consulted? Any libraries, docs, or did you base this on a previous implementation?
No. I started writing from scratch.
Oh, okay.
So I wrote it, and that's probably the only piece of software I wrote completely as test driven development. So I wrote the test, I fixed it, wrote the text, fix it.
Okay.
And then looking into use beautiful soap and HTML. How's it called? The libraries that they're using there, nothing else.
Okay.
Is that what you were asking, or?
No, that's what I was asking. I thought you
Okay.
based your implementation on something else, something which was previously already implemented.
No, it was all for a need, and I started to write. That was it. I looked it up online to see whether they were something doing what I wanted. I spent maybe a while. I didn't find anything, and then I started to code my own.
Okay, that's it.
Okay. Stuart?
Okay. You've approved this. Sweet. That I will. That needs backporting. What's we got? 1811 also needs backporting. This came up because the VSO have added some new data products for HMI, which are synoptic maps, so therefore they don't have an end time, which was breaking our validate code.
Why they don't have an end time?
Because they don't, I don't know. They just have none as their end time, so. No, in the VSO they don't have an end time record at all, which means that SUDS passes it as none, which means our validate time code was broken. This didn't stop you using the VSO client, but it did stop you displaying the results of your query.
And that happened just with certain data that you have specified, like found on VSO, not with all of them.
No, if you did any query involving HMI that wasn't filtered to only return results from JSOC with error.
Can we documented that in some way? Like on the comment that you say there, saying the case is with HMI only or something like that?
Well, just because the fact that the HMI data is the only one that currently does it doesn't mean it's the only one that'll ever do it.
Yeah, I know, but just to know, like, because okay, I don't know. I'm scared that this could go wrong.
Why? All this function does is
check the time from the VSO query that you like the answer, the return
for printing
from a VSO. So if the return from VSO you gave you a none, then you just return none. Okay, sure.
It's only used for building the table. It's a string format. It converts a datetime to a string format.
Yeah, but only from the VSO return. Okay, sure.
Yeah. It's very specific too.
Sure.
That also needs backporting. So this will give things something to do. What's that? Okay. I haven't actually finished. So I don't forget to do that. There we go. 1815 is interesting. At least in theory, I haven't finished it yet. I'm writing tests for it. Basically, this adds to the coordinate system the ability to transform straight from helioprojective to helioprojective. Basically, short-circuiting the transform from helioprojective into heliographic and back out to helioprojective again. So it's for doing observer shift transformations. Okay. Moving on.
You mean if you hang on, if you stick on the Earth and you just want to move like 2 or 3 days ahead or backwards or something like that?
Not temporally,
What's the use case?
spatially. Transforming from SDO to SDO to stereo, or
Oh, I
mean,
see.
I suppose the Earth to the Earth in a couple of days' time would also be valid, right?
Okay,
So
so
didn't want to compensate for differential rotation at the same time.
okay, so like Soho EIT to SDO.
Sure. Yeah, that should also work as long as you know the position angles of Soho. So they're not in the headers.
Yeah, that's the problem because Soho is slightly closer to the sun than the.
Yes.
The angles are the same. It's just the distance that will change, right?
Yeah, it's just the distance, but it's a 1%.
Well, the diameter of the sun. In this case.
It will also work if you change distance.
Okay.
As long as you know the distance, if you specify the input and output frames with the correct distances, the transformation will work.
All right. So I think that should be now we have the framework to handle Soho, right? So that we should have an example somewhere of that transformation.
Well, what we don't have is a reliable way of calculating the position of Soho, right?
What do you mean with the position of Soho? Just the distance of Soho.
Well, we also don't have a decent amount of information of calculating the position angles of the Earth either.
What do you mean with the position angle?
P0, B0. No, not P0. B0, B0, L0.
Yeah, okay, that will be in the ephemeris, but that for Soho will be the same.
Yeah. I suppose well, if you could just take it out of the AAA header is what you're telling me, but sure. This has the effect of making the gallery example easier to use. This improves the API of the gallery example that already exists.
Okay. I can also see that, like, a use case, because a use case would be very useful because it looks weird. But HPC to HPC transformation is not. I mean,
it's quite confusing.
Yeah, it's confusing, and that's where an example would be.
An example is the stereo to AAA in the examples gallery, is my point. I haven't modified it yet, but...
Oh, right, okay. All right.
So yeah, tests.
Working on it. What
Very
this
good.
piece of paper is, this is me actually calculating the results analytically on a piece of paper. Turns out that it's harder than you might think. Moving on. I don't know whether you saw me post it on Twitter the other day, but writing that allowed me to do reprojection from stereo to AAA, which was quite cool. Skip over that one for the moment. Do 1808. Fixed test failures with developer version of NumPy.
I have a bunch of comments there.
Oh, yes, you do. Yep, you do. That's true. Bunch of comments. If someone else wants to review that, that's golden.
Well, I think it makes sense what I'm saying, because what he's changing, he's putting integers in many places where, again, it could be dangerous to find where the error is. So, yeah.
Yep, that's fine. Any more? Oh yeah, we should do 1785.
Well, that's the one you just said now, right?
Yes. Someone could have a look over the implementation, that would be useful. Oh, yeah. Don't do that. Okay. I've already got a comment. Yeah, if people could have a review of that, do some review on that. Anyone got anything else? Looks like ready to merge, or close to ready to merge. Oh yeah, 1809. So this is a bit of a weird example that I wrote, which reads in a daily synoptic map from JSOC, which involves manually modifying the file so that it's valid, then reading it into a map, and then defining a custom coordinate system to plot it correctly. I wonder whether people think this is a good idea to have this as an example.
Which one are you now? 18 what?
1809.
That's the one that you tweet?
No.
Oh, that's just the, okay, cool. So you create the synoptic map, or
No.
no?
I read the synoptic map from the internet
Yeah.
and then load it in and plot it.
Okay, and what is the coordinates? What it needs to be? It's sinusoidal and stuff, right?
The custom coordinate system deals with converting from the incorrect coordinate system in the FITS file to a physically meaningful solar latitude.
Okay.
The problem is that the FITS file is inconsistent with itself because the WCS describes a coordinate system that doesn't have sine latitude as the y-axis, but yet it does have sine latitude as the y-axis. So you have to define the coordinate system backwards. Muted. I blame Jack. Oh, jet lag, man. Okay. Yeah, I don't know whether people think that this is worthy of having at all, or
Well, the thing is that people will open those
anyway.
files. So the people when open these files, they will get weird stuff unless they have this thing, right? Like in the coordinates.
I mean, when you load it in without doing a custom coordinate system, it is technically correct, even though what it thinks it is isn't actually what it is. But it won't even load these files without doing some hacks to fix them.
Okay. And this is the hacks that you need to do.
Well, to open it, there are hacks to do before we open it. Like you have to fix the CUnit2 keyword, the header keyword, and remove HGLN obs before SunPy will correctly pass it. The custom coordinate system is just so that you can plot the physical solar latitude on the y-axis.
Yeah. What about? Okay, and it's Carrington loading it on the bottom. Okay. Can we have a coordinate transformation that it puts the dates as well? Do you think that? Not for this example, but for the visualization. You understand what I mean?
Yes. And probably not. Because it expects spherical coordinate systems to be in degrees, not time.
Can this be? Would this be better treated as a completely different type of observation, a completely different type of map, and then we could have like a custom plot to have the Carrington degrees and then an extra axis underneath, which is just time.
This is frankly better not treated at all because the FITS file is wrong.
Better to fix in the FITS file then.
The problem is that the WCS information in the FITS file is inconsistent to the point of being incorrect. Sine latitude is not a valid unit. Or sine degrees is not a valid unit. You really need a new projection to handle this correctly. Which means that no standard compliant parser will ever be able to read this correctly. I mean, from my perspective, the reason why I decided to submit this to the example gallery was less about the actual data I'm reading and more about the process of reading in and fixing invalid FITS files, and which is something that happens concerningly often, and also defining a custom coordinate system.
I like it.
I like it too from that point of view, because it really does demonstrate the power, right, of this. Like, it's a very sophisticated. It's a more sophisticated example of the power of this coordinate package. So,
Maybe.
yeah, I like it too.
Maybe the title should be more in that line.
Yeah, that's true.
Like fixing headers and plotting a synoptic map or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Also, I've sent it to gallery. It should almost certainly be in tutorials. Thinking about it.
I think tutorials is a better place, because this is not it's not something that a lot of people will worry about.
Not a quick demo.
No, it requires a level of sophistication that the casual SunPy user probably won't need to start off with anyway.
Yeah. Okay, well, seeing how people like it, I will go back part. I will take another pass over that at some point and do a bit of improvement to it. Okay. Any more?
No. Do you want to give us the one that we were not in the SPD and an update of how was it?
SPD was good.
It's good, yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't help. Like, how many people were?
That was it. We ran 2 Python sessions, and I put the link into the chat for those that are in the call that want to have a look at it, which is very good. We had many people at the Python one and less people at the SunPy one because it clashed with other things in the meeting, which was a bit unfortunate. We had some good discussions between ourselves, I think. Don't know, what do you want to know, David?
Well, I want to know how was the reception, like how the people were enthusiastic about this. They were like bored already. I don't know, like what was the perception of the people? Were they happy of learning this stuff? Did you ask them afterwards and you said them that they were, I don't know, happy or not?
Yeah, I think the feedback was generally very positive. We had some people who AstroPy units blew their minds.
Didn't you show the AstroPy tables export to LaTeX?
No, I didn't actually.
Then you will have all of them like sold to you.
We didn't have a lot of time. It was very challenging to decide what we were going to cover and what we weren't.
Yeah, sure.
We only had 2 1.5 hour sessions. So, but yes, I do love AstroPy table export to LaTeX is one of the greatest things.
Okay.
Any of the other people who were there get a good impression of what people thought of the sessions?
I don't know. I wasn't in the session, but talking to some people, it seems like there's still some resistance to switching to Python just because, it doesn't have all the stuff they want, right? I mean, that's not something that can be solved easily, but that's sort of just a general feeling is that because it doesn't have all the tools I need to do everything in my daily work.
You, whenever the people tell you that, could you ask them what is it, what they don't have? like I know certain tools that are not available, but I want to have a better impression of other people who have the thing. So I mean, don't call now them back now, ask them about it. but I will be interested when people say that to us, to have a better understanding of what is it. Is the preps? Is it the what? You know, is the fitting of spectral lines? Is the I don't know.
Sure. Yeah.
Because that will
We
help
did
us.
that in the session. We did spectral line fitting.
Yeah. No, but what I mean is like, what is their impression that what they have that they think that we don't have? Because I'm saying that we're stay in a place in a moment that we have almost everything.
That's a bold claim.
Well, I mean, except the preps stuff.
Sure.
But I don't remember to be using others saying that we don't have already. I mean, there is a small thing like the derotation maps for some maps or things like that. But
I think I've had the reprojection functionality off a couple of people and the differential rotation functionality. But yeah, no, I agree. I think, that's the thing. I can't think of any major pieces that are left.
Right. I mean, it probably is also just like people have been using IDL, since they started their career, right? And they don't want to change, or they're skeptical of Python for not necessarily good reasons, but just because.
Yeah. No. I don't mean as a treating way to them, like they say to you, say, okay, what is it? No, but I mean like more constructive way, like say, okay, so just to add them as a issues or as a feature request so we can keep a log of what we need to do or what people want, and that gives them kind of the idea that we are actually doing stuff in what they want.
Yeah.
But cool, thanks.
Yep.
Okay, so is there anything else? Anyone?
So I'm at the Statistical Challenges in Modern Astronomy meeting right now, and IDL has been mentioned precisely once, and it drew laughter from the audience. I really think the fact that the prep code is all in IDL is one of the major things which is keeping people in IDL, and that's it. We have a technical heritage which is not which is hard to get around. And it's going to remain that way for a while. I think that's just the way we are.
Yeah, I'm working with R at work at the moment.
Anyway, I have to go, guys. Thanks very much.
I also have to make a move. There were other things I wanted to cover with regards to 0.8, but that's fine. We'll cover that next week. It's not a problem.
Sure.
Chewing through some PRs was more important. Does anyone else have anything to add before we wrap this up?
Yeah, I want people to comment more on my Python 3 mail, not just 2 people. I want more comments, more fire.
Oh, yes. Okay, I have opinions on that, which I expressed, right?
Yeah, no, but I want more people. I want more fire there. I want more discussion.
Me, Steve, and Albert had a little discussion about that last week.
Okay. So
I think what we need to do is decide when we're going to cut it off, and 0.8 is the wrong answer.
Yeah, sure. I but I want to bring the discussion in, so I want people to discuss more, not just you, me, and
well, Tiago.
Yeah,
sure. I really want Tiago to answer me as well, because I really want to know what packages he uses that aren't 3 compatible anymore, because even VTK has fallen now. Anyway, all right.
Cool.
Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Thank you.
Cool.
All right,
Touching on, guys.